third reading next sitting day. I call on Government Order of the Day number 4.
Rangitāne or Manawatu Claim Settlement Bill, second reading.
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Christopher Finlinson.
Mr Speaker, I move that the Rangitāne o Manawatu Claim Settlement Bill be now read a second time. The bill gives effect to a deed of settlement between the Crown and Rangitāne o Manawatu that was signed in November last year and which settles all the historic Treaty of Waitangi claims relating to Rangitāne. I remember the signing ceremony very well. It was in front of the beautiful whare of Rangitāne in Palmerston North, and in front of the whare there's this big po, and there are two people on it at the very top. One is the Right Honourable Sir Douglas Graham, who was the Minister of Treaty Negotiations, and believe it or not, staring vacantly into space is the Right Honourable Winston Peters. I don't know whether he knows he's on that po. I think it's a very good place for him to be, because basically he's been up a po most of the morning. The settlement comprises historical redress, which records the breaches and the past injustices caused by failures of the Crown, cultural redress, recognising the traditional historical, culture and spiritual association of the people of Rangitāne with a number of their most special sites, and financial and commercial redress, which reasserts the role of Rangitāne in the region. Rangitāne and the Crown have worked very well together to develop a settlement package that reconnects Rangitāne with its environment and provides a good, strong economic base for the iwi to grow. Can I acknowledge the excellent work of the Rangitāne negotiators, particularly Danielle Harris, who worked so very long and hard on this matter, my ministerial colleagues and government and other agencies who have contributed to the bill. As always, that's a fair enough point actually, and Ruth Harris, who passed away some years ago, who started the matter off and did a very good job. I thank the Right Honourable Member for one constructive contribution this morning. As always, I want to thank and acknowledge the work of the Maori Affairs Committee, which once again has done an excellent job in progressing this bill in a timely manner. The committee began its consideration of the bill only in May and considered 9 submissions from interested groups and individuals, and they heard from 5 submitters at a hearing in Palmerston North. The committee reported the bill back to the House early this month and recommended it be passed with very minor changes. They're of a technical nature, and I'm really pleased that that's the case. Rangitāne has done a great job. They chose a pragmatic approach to the redress they were seeking, focusing on their core area of interest, and conducted an open and robust overlapping claims resolution process. The bill, with its very limited number of amendments, is a testament to the hard work of the negotiators. In its report, the committee commended how overlapping claims issues were addressed during negotiations and noted that this settlement seeks to balance the interests of all iwi in the area with the underpinning rationale that commercial redress is intended to contribute to re-establishing an iwi's economic base. This perfectly captures what is intended through each treaty settlement negotiation. It describes, and indeed it was here with the discussions that took place, it describes the fine line that has to be walked between addressing the long-standing grievances of one group and giving them the means to move forward while ensuring that we're not creating further grievances with surrounding groups. One issue raised in the submissions, and it's confronted the Rangitāne negotiations since the process began, is the inclusion of the Ngāti Tauira hapu in the Rangitāne claimant definition, a very difficult issue. The committee accepted that Ngāti Tauira's primary affiliation is with Ngāti Apa, but found that, quote, Ngāti Tauira certainly has whakapapa social and political links to both groups, close quote. I believe this settles this matter once and for all. Ultimately, members of this particular hapu have the option to benefit from either or both settlements as long as they descend from the respective tupuna. Finally, some submitters stated that while the settlement doesn't fully compensate Rangitāne for the injustices of the past, it provides an opportunity for the iwi to find some peace with the past and a path to the future. And I certainly hope that that is the case. This bill signifies an endpoint to the long process of negotiation for Rangitāne, and it's now time to find some measure of peace and look to the future. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to leave my final thanks to the Rangitāne negotiating team until the third reading. However, before I end, I want to acknowledge the patience of the negotiators who must be anxious to reach their settlement of these historical claims after so many, many years in negotiation. I want to assure them, and I'm sure everyone in this House shares this view, that we want to see a just and durable settlement for Rangitāne or Manawatu as soon as possible. So I look forward to the third reading of the bill and commend this bill to the House.